What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy Hugh. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, stimulus check update, and everything going on here in our country. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. Remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Congress and, two major decisions are being decided on right now and will depend on our rights here in the United States. These are two major decisions that will really depend on the future of our country. And one of them was just voted on last night and still was voted on in the House of Representatives and passed, but has an uncertain future in the Senate. Check this out. That's right. Last night, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a sweeping gun legislation bill to raise the age to buy assault rifles to 21, along with several other things here. However, it passed in the House, but only 5 Republicans voted yes on it out of 200 and some Republicans. And here's what's in the bill. The bill is called the Protecting Our Kids Act. Would also bar the sale of large capacity magazines and institute rules that dictate proper at-home gun storage. Would raise the minimum age to purchase an assault rifle in the US from age 18 to 21. So you'd still be able to purchase. You just have to be 21 years old to purchase an assault rifle. An assault rifle. Another component of the legislation called the Untraceable Firearms Act would bolster regulations around so-called ghost guns that don't have serial numbers. It is far more difficult for law enforcement to track these. Why are these even around? Like, why do they even have these? Why are these allowed? I mean, you let me know your thoughts on these. I mean, if you just look at these realistically, why do we even allow these? Political analysts say that neither the May 24th school massacre in Uvalde, Texas, nor the May 14th rampage in the supermarket in Buffalo, New York are likely to drum up enough support for the bill passed in the House to be passed in the Senate, which will need 10 Republican votes. Parents of victims, law enforcement officials, and one 11-year-old Uvalde shooting survivor appeared before Congress on Wednesday to urge lawmakers to pass new gun laws. Kimberly Rubio, mother to a slain 10-year-old Lexi Rubio, told lawmakers through tears she doesn't want her daughter to be remembered just as a number. She was intelligent, compassionate, and athletic. She was quiet, shy, unless she had a point to make. She says somewhere out there is a mom listening to our testimony thinking, I can't even imagine their pain, not knowing that reality will someday be hers unless we act now. Senator Chris Murphy from Connecticut sums it up. Well, let me know what you think and what he had to say. Check this out.
Chris Murphy, who was there after the massacre at Sandy Hook and pleaded with this body to make changes in this nation, a plea which was not answered. His words today may well go down in history. It's important that we play that again, and then we'll continue with the news.
There are 14 kids dead in an elementary school in Texas right now. What are we doing? What are we doing? Just days after a shooter walked into a grocery store to gun down African American patrons, we have another Sandy Hook on our hands. What are we doing? There have been more mass shootings than days in the year. Our kids are living in fear every single time they set foot in a classroom because they think they're going to be next. What are we doing? Why do you spend all this time running for the United States Senate? Why do you go through all the hassle of getting this job, of putting yourself in a position of authority, if your answer is that as this slaughter increases, as our kids run for their lives, we do nothing? What are we doing? Why are you here? If not to solve a problem as existential as this. This isn't inevitable. These kids weren't unlucky. This only happens in this country and nowhere else. Nowhere else do little kids go to school thinking that they might be shot that day. Nowhere else do parents have to talk to their kids, as I have had to do, about why they got locked into a bathroom and told to be quiet for 5 minutes just in case a bad man entered that building. Nowhere else does that happen except here in the United States of America, and it is a choice. It is our choice to let it continue. But I'm here on this floor to beg, to literally get down on my hands and knees and beg my colleagues. Find a path forward here. Work with us to find a way to pass laws that make this less likely.
Tell me if that isn't powerful. We're just talking about minor things here. Raising the age limit for assault rifles. I mean, we're literally the only country that this happens in. I mean, if we can't do anything about this, we literally, you heard him say it, we have more mass shootings in the United States than days in the year. We have 10 per week. It doesn't happen in any other country. So we're on the brink of precipice here that the problem is these continue to happen over and over and over, and nothing gets done. No regulation, no reform, no nothing. In the past, when we've had problems like this with car safety, with with drug safety, anything else in the past, there was I seen this previously. We covered a story that hot air balloon safety in Texas, and Ted Cruz rushed to pass regulation for hot air balloon safety in Texas. But when it comes to gun safety, don't pass any type of regulation at all. I mean, how do we not? Shouldn't there be some training and some type of license? I mean, you need a license for a car, but no type of license, no training, no regulation, no nothing. Just go on, buy it, and you're on your own. Yeah. So, I mean, the thing is that it's going to be decided here. And I mean, some states are doing differently. Remember, New York has already passed a gun safety law. But even that, it's not like you can't own one. So we're just talking about trying to lower these type of incidences, right? It's not like we're saying the right to bear arms is not going to happen. It's a fully American thing that's been going on since the beginning of America, right? So, and the next thing that is really, something that's been around for about 50 years that, has a lot of people on both sides of the equation that is now apparently getting really, really close to being determined here. The Roe versus Wade decision, the White House braces for the death of Roe versus Wade. So, yeah, uh, this is going to be, and I think that when this breaks, if it happens, there is going to be a lot of, I don't want to use the word rioting, but maybe protesting is maybe the better word. We're going to have to see here. I just think that it's going to be a little bit crazy. Here's what Vice President Kamala Harris, our first woman vice president, has to say about women's rights here. Check this out.
So here's what you need to know about what's happening with reproductive rights and with Roe v. Wade at the United States Supreme Court. At its core, Roe is about the right to privacy, the freedom to make decisions about your own body. The right to privacy that forms the basis of Roe is the same foundation used to recognize other important rights, such as the right to use contraception and the right to marry someone of the same sex, someone you love. Right now, Roe protects the right to access abortion as it has for nearly 50 years. But if the Supreme Court overturns it, abortion could be banned in states across the country, putting women's lives at risk. And extremist legislators are already weaponizing the use of the law to criminalize and punish women. Our administration's position has been clear since day one. We will defend women's constitutional rights, and we will fight to protect the fundamental right to self-determination. We will continue to call on Congress to make Roe the law which would protect your right to make decisions about your own body without the government interfering. And we will continue to use all available options when the court rules. Our collective charge in this moment is to fight for the health, safety, and well-being of all women with everything we've got.
Yeah, so yet another major, major decision here that is going to affect, well, I don't want to say all women and families, but a lot of women, especially younger women here, going forward. And it's going to be a major, major, two major, major life changing, direction changing decisions for our country going forward here. Definitely both happening kind of at the same time here. And the question here is, what's going to happen? Is action going to happen on either of them? Which way? It's kind of the history could go in different directions here. You could kind of look back here 5 or 10 years from now and say, "Wow, that could have went a totally different direction." And we'll have to see here. Um, it's kind of interesting. You could have looked back 50 years from now with the Roe v. Wade decision, and just think if that would have went the other way. Okay, and now Roe v. Wade could be overturned. It's stood for 50 years, and now there's a Republican majority in the Supreme Court, and the way it looks is they're probably going to overturn it. And if and when they overturn the Roe v. Wade decision, then that will leave it open for states to then make abortions illegal. So, because the federal jurisdiction then would be struck down, then states could take it upon themselves to make abortions illegal. And the way it currently looks is that approximately somewhere around 25 or 26 states could make it illegal, and that's like half the country. So, and there's large portions of the country that could do this, and if a woman wanted to have one, she might not have options. There might be states where they're not even close, and then there's going to be it's going to be real. I don't want to use the word interesting, but real confusing. Where someone might be able to get one, and then her friend, uh, a couple states over, might not be able to, and it's going to be like, well, why is she able to, but I'm not able to? And then same thing with gun rights, where it's going to be like, well, he was able to purchase an automatic rifle on his 18th birthday, and another person's not able to. And look at what's happening, with these mass shootings. People, it's just like, wow, yeah. So we're going to really find out here very, very soon, potentially on both of these matters. The key to the Senate uh, for the gun right issue is really Mitch McConnell and his team. Mitch McConnell wants to pass this, and his team, they can get the 10 votes for the Republicans. If not, it won't pass. There's certain senators like Ted Cruz who are just going to vote no on everything, no matter what. They're just a little bit too far right. The NRA sponsors, National Rifle Association sponsors, and has openly paid a lot of them, including Mitch McConnell, actually. So, but Mitch McConnell somewhat sounds like he's maybe open to some type of gun reform, or maybe he's just saying that to. We'll see. We'll see. Um, and the Roe v. Wade thing is really open to just the Supreme Court. So there's no Congress involved at this point. Um, and the thing about Congress is it's if they tried to pass it, it would almost be the same thing. All the Republicans would vote no, all the Democrats would probably vote yes, and it wouldn't pass in the Senate anyways. So it's really strange how divided everything is. It's almost like people don't really think for themselves anymore. It's just like both parties just go, and they're almost like mind controlled. It's like we're going to vote however our party tells us to vote. When you see, the House of Representatives, the vast majority of time, 200 and some Democrats all vote yes, and 200 and some Democrats all vote no, or just, vice versa, right? And you see them all vote the exact same way, the parties, right? Isn't it kind of odd? Like, don't they? Now, in this case, there was 5 Republicans that voted yes for the gun rights. Okay, so there was 2% of the Republicans that decided to say no. I do think enough has been enough with the shootings, and my hat tips off to them, because we're not talking about really groundbreaking stuff here. We're not talking about banning taking your guns or anything like that. We're just talking about literally just a few tweaks of the restrictions here, or the regulations, I should say. Um, Really, they could do a lot more. They could, require people that don't have guns right now to get a license, like you do with the driver's license. Have a waiting period for people that don't own them already, so you can't just rush out and buy them on an impulse. And really, that's when people. That's when a lot of these mass shootings occur. People rush out, buy it, and that's when the mass shooting occurs, right? Think about if there was just a 7-day waiting period or 14-day wait. Other countries have 28-day waiting periods. Okay, imagine if we just implemented half of that. 14-day waiting period could literally solve how many of these mass shootings. Give people time to cool off. That's a problem here in the United States, right? But alas, we have to take baby steps here, because getting anything passed at all on the federal level might not even happen. Now, there'll probably be some states that will pass some stuff. Even that might be a chore. But nonetheless, we have two major issues that are going to change the direction of our country for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health. So let me know your thoughts here. I want to know all your constructive criticism either way. And either way, we got to protect our children. We got to somehow try to figure out some way forward. And then the Roe v. Wade thing, of course, I've seen both arguments here. You could put me on either side of the pen there, and I could argue either way. My overall opinion on that one is I just don't think the government, in that case, should tell a woman um, how, how to force them. What it's just, in the other case with the guns, the government's really not forcing you. They're just saying, hey, uh, you can't buy it at 18. You have to wait a little bit. Waiting periods. It's really not the government forcing. It's not like the government's telling you no. Um, so it's really kind of two almost somewhat related, but not. Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here. New videos come out here every day, 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's getting hot in here, and we're going to have some major decisions coming out here. So you can click here to watch my newest video next. And here is my newest stimulus check video that I just did. And we got some really big ones coming up here next soon. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.